Okay, this recipe is for lemon cheesecake. So I have all my ingredients ready to make the cheesecake. I've got 250 grams of soft cheese, like a Philadelphia, but that's an own brand. I'm going to need 2 large lemons. I've got 3 small ones here as I couldn't get large lemons. I have 200 mils of cream in one pot, and I have 75 mils of cream separately because I'm going to need to warm that later. I've got 100 grams of caster sugar, 200 grams of digestive biscuits, and 5 sheets of gelatin. Now the gelatin needs to be soaked before it can be used, so I've got a bowl with cold water in it here, and I'm just going to place my 5 sheets of gelatin into the bowl, making sure they're completely covered by the water so that these can soak while I start making the base, and then they should be nice and soft and ready for me to use later on. So 5 sheets of gelatin have gone into there, and the first thing I'm going to do is make the biscuit base. I have a 20 centimetre loose bottomed cake tin. Would be quite nice if it was a slightly shallower tin, but that's all I've got, so that's what I'm going to use. And in my bowl I've got 200 grams of digestive biscuits, and I need to crush these, and the easiest way to do that is to just get my rolling pin and hit them until they are all nicely crushed. Okay, I've crushed my biscuits, so I now have biscuit crumbs, and you can do this in a food processor, but that makes a lot more washing up, or you could do them in a plastic bag, but I'm trying to cut down on my use of plastic, so I like to do it in a bowl. And then I'm just going to add 50 grams of melted butter and stir that together. And you can see when you've done it as it changes colour. So when it looks like you have the butter all the way through and your biscuits have changed colour slightly, you can pour those into the bottom of your tin. Now if you were going to do this for an exam, I would put these into smaller tins rather than one large. However, having said that, a slice out of a large cheesecake can also look really good. So you just need to make a nice even layer across the bottom of the tin, and when your biscuits are spread, I just use the spoon to press them down a little bit. I'm not worrying about going up the sides, but I do want a nice firm base so that when I turn this out of the tin, hopefully there won't be too many crumbs. So that, there we go, pressed into the bottom of that tin, needs to go into the fridge to start setting while you make the topping. Okay, the first thing that I'm going to do for my topping is prepare the lemons, and I need the rind and the juice of the lemons. So on my grater I'm using this side with the very, very fine holes. I've already washed and dried these lemons. What's important to remember is you only need to grate 2 or 3 times, and then you should turn your lemon. The flavour of the lemons comes from all the natural oils in the skin, and as you grate you should be able to smell the lemon. What you don't want to do is to get the white pith from underneath the yellow coloured zest into your food. The pith is really bitter it is the lemon zest that has the flavour. So when I'm done with this lemon, if I just turn it around and show you in just a minute, I should be able to see the zest all the way around, but when you look at it, you can see it looks quite dull here, and here it's still shiny. This is where I've grated it, and that's what you need to do. Literally just take not even a millimetre off the lemon all the way around, and I'm going to do that with all 3 lemons. Okay, I've grated the rind off all 3 of my lemons, and the next thing you're going to find is you're going to look at this and go, but miss, that's ridiculous. How is this going to make anything taste of lemon when all I've got is that tiny bit of lemon rind there? The thing is, quite a lot of your lemon rind is still inside the grater, so you need to use the back of a knife and scrape out inside the grater, remembering that this is really concentrated. It has all the lemon's oils in and will give flavour. There's also quite a bit stuck to the front of the grater. So what I'm going to do is, again, with the back of a knife, I am just going to go along the lines on the grater, like that, and you can see I've got a lot more lemon zest coming out, and I'm going to go in the opposite direction as well, and then I should have quite a nice little collection of lemon zest. And as I say, it's really concentrated, so I don't need to worry about the fact that I haven't got half of my chopping board covered in bits of lemon. I just need this for the flavour, and it is worth taking your time doing this, because it is the lemon zest that does give the flavour. The juice will add a bit of sharpness, but it's the lemon zest that really gives the lemon flavour. So all of that is going into the bowl with my soft cheese. Okay. I then need to get the juice out of my lemons, so cut them in half. I have a juicer ready, and you just need to squeeze that out. Now, these are small lemons, so it's going to take a couple of these, but I also have a small sieve ready, because I hate it when you get bits of lemon pip in your food, and with the best will in the world, your juicer won't necessarily save all the lemon pips from going in there. So I'm just going to pour that through, and I can see I've got 3 lemon pips there. So I'm going to do this 1 lemon at a time, or it could be 1 lot of lemon juice at a time, as soon as your squeezer or juicer is full. And then I'm just going to beat the lemon in. I'm not going to wait until I've got all the lemons in there, because I want to make sure that this stays nice and soft. And I had beaten my cheese a little bit to start with. So the juice of 3 lemons is going to go into that bowl with the lemon zest and the soft cheese. Okay, I've added all my lemon juice to this, and you can see it's quite runny now. And I also need to get the sugar into there. So that's my 100 grams of sugar. Now, this is far too runny for a cheesecake, and it's not going to set on its own. So we now need to look at the gelatin. So my gelatin has just been soaking in this water, and when it went in, it was a sheet of gelatin. So, excuse me, it was a hard sheet of gelatin like that. Where it's soaked in the water now, I can pick this up and you can see it's quite soft and floppy. There are 5 sheets of gelatin in there. This gelatin needs something warm to dissolve in. So I have just warmed the 75 mils of cream. If I just put the gelatin in that bowl, it'll stay as it is. So what I need to do is to pick up my gelatin, and I'm just going to squeeze it and put it into the warm cream. And you need to make sure that you get all 5 sheets. And the only reason I'm squeezing it is to get rid of some of the extra water. And as the gelatin hits that cream, oh, nearly left one behind, it should dissolve. So just like a normal jelly, as that goes in, it should just melt. And if I stir that now, I actually can't pick up any of the sheet gelatin in there. The heat of that warm cream has dissolved that, and I'm going to add this warm mixture into my cold mixture. What I don't want to happen is that as the gelatin mix hits here, I just leave it in one puddle in the middle, because this is really cold, this is nicely warm. If I do that, it'll just set solid in the middle. So this is a two-handed job. You need to be stirring and trickling so that the cold mixture gets mixed up with the warm gelatin, and you should be able to feel as you do it that as it goes, the mixture already starts to thicken. So all of my gelatin cream is in there, and I'm just going to put that to one side while I deal with my last ingredient, which is the 200 mils of cream that I've got left. And all that needs to be done to this is I need to whisk this. I've got my electric mixer ready. I'm going to pop this into a bowl and I'm going to whisk this into peaks. And I'm just leaving the gelatin on the side, but I can already feel the difference in the resistance there when I start to stir. Okay, I've whipped my cream, and I have whipped it quite well because there is no egg white in this mixture, and quite often if you want a mixture to be light, we put raw egg white in, but this one does not have egg white in it, so any lightness to this mixture is going to come from the cream that I'm about to fold in. So as usual, when you're adding one mixture to another, I'm just going to put a little bit of the cream on the top to start with and just fold that through. This could really do with having a little bit longer. So I've made a start with that, but to be honest, I think I'm just going to put all of this on the top in there. So all of my cream in there, and it needs to be folded and cut until you can't see lumps of cream in here. So I'm just going to fold it and cut it until the cream is whipped through. If you wanted to add a little bit more lightness, you could, if you wish to, whisk this with your electric mixer. Just be really careful. And if you wish to do that, what you need to do is have your mixer on the slowest setting. So don't do it really fast. And you can whisk this until you can't see any more lumps of cream. And to be honest, that will be a lot quicker than trying to fold that mixture in. So that is now smooth. Put that over there so it doesn't drip. And you need the base, which I've just got out of the fridge again, and all you have to do is pour your gelatin mixture into there, pop that back into the fridge for that to set. Okay, the cheesecake has set and it just now needs to come out of the tin, and because I've put it in a loose bottom tin, I can gradually work it all the way up the tin, just pushing a little bit around each side until I can get it close enough, and it is, there we go, well set, and I am just going to slide it onto that plate. So I've got a few crumbs on the top where it fell. However, the top still needs some decoration. If I'd got some cream, I would put some cream on it. I don't have any cream, but what I do have is some mandarin oranges and some black grapes. So I'm going to put mandarin oranges around the outside of the cheesecake, just for a bit of colour, and then I am going to finish off in between each one of those oranges with a little bit of black grape, just for the colour contrast and make it look more interesting. So you can put whatever fruit you want on the top of this, you can leave it plain, you can pipe cream on the top. It is entirely up to you how you decorate it, but you do need to think about what the finished cheesecake is going to look like for serving, or when you take a slice out for serving. There we go, and that is the completed cheesecake ready for serving. Or if you were doing it for your exam, you could take a single slice out of it and serve.